Hello everyone, and welcome to another Wild Moments show. Today it'll be me, Ali, with Jamie, which I'm very excited about because we've never done one of the shows together. So that is a nice way to start the afternoon, I think. Welcome, Jamie. Nice to see your face across
Hey,
South
thank
Africa.
you. Yeah, it's nice to see yours too, Ali. We keep missing each other. At least we've got this.
Yeah, at least we've got the wild moments that we will always remember. Oh, one can only hope. Right. I must just say before we start that we seem to be having some power issues here and there. Hopefully it's all been sorted, but if it does happen, don't panic. We are on it. We are fighting all the energy suppliers in the world. So that should be all fun and well. But
I
anyway,
have
just
none,
remember
so I'm
no?
prepared. I've got none now
No,
anyway.
Jamie. Let's just get rid of this bad vibes. Now, I just wanted to remind everyone that the Wild Moments Show is powered by explorer.org, and we're very happy to have everyone here. And we like it when you talk to us. It is a live and interactive show, so please feel free to send comments, questions. We definitely, Jamie and I can talk a lot, but it's nicer if other people get involved too. So seems like today is quite a nice show with a bit of a family theme from the highlights from
Yay.
the sort of all of what the cams have been picking up. But before we head onto that, I just want to go onto a comment from Daryl, who says, "Hello and happy to be here. Earlier in the week, I saw a water buffalo at Rosie's Span giving birth, and then she walked away. Did anyone else see it? Because I didn't see any photos being posted. Cozy and warm in Toronto with morning coffee." Well, I think that Jamie and I used to actually have a routine where we had coffee early mornings and watched the sunrise together when we were off from drive. So early morning warm coffee, definitely great stuff. But before we get into anything, and I don't know if anyone saw any photos, Daryl, you would have seen a Cape or an African buffalo. We don't get water buffalo in South Africa. They are much grumpier than the water buffalo, and they cannot be domesticated, even though people have tried. They are very mighty, powerful, and grumpy creatures altogether, I would say. Not really known for being docile. But why it would walk away from the little one, I don't know if it just walked temporarily away after it gave birth to maybe feed or what happened. So if anyone's got any photos and want to fill us in and just let us know a little bit more, that would be great. Also, Jamie is studying vet science. So all the very specific questions can
Uh-oh.
go directly to her. Because she's very clever, so she'll tell us everything.
I've been
Oh,
on holiday. Everything's leaked out of my brain. It's all
I'm
gone.
pretty sure that's not the case. But let me just go through this hello quickly. Aussie Jen is saying hello. I am here smiling and of course with my coffee. Well done. We like team coffee. Gemma, good
You?
day from sunny and chilly New Jersey. Well, at least the sun is shining because if it's chilly and not sunny, then it is very sad, isn't it? I don't like it when it's sunny and cold. It just yeah, sunny and rainy. Sorry. Bob from Kalamazoo, you're saying good day, ladies. Well, good day to you, Bob. Mary Momo, hi Jamie and Ali and everyone else here, tuning in from a wet hot springs, Arkansas, and excited to see what wild moments you ladies have for us today. Well, I'd like to say that it's us, but it's actually the guys in the background, generally Aiden and I'm going to say Max, choosing the good stuff. So we just get lucky and we just get to skip to the good parts. Hello, ladies. Allison here. I haven't seen any crocs for a long time. Is there a reason for this? Allison, not really. It is the summertime, so the reptiles are pretty active everywhere. I don't think they're hiding anywhere, but perhaps if the water levels of certain rivers or dams have gone up, then they might have moved from one spot to the next. They are there, though. I still wouldn't try my luck. I don't know, Jamie, if you're brave enough, but I still wouldn't get in any dam or river or anything around this area. It's just, yeah.
No, no, thank you.
Oh, Zygote, you say hi, Ali Olivieri and Pajama Patterson. Woohoo!
Hello. Been a long
All
time,
righty.
actually.
Yeah, since Annie called you pajamas, hey. All right, I think with all of this housekeeping done and having said hello to everyone that's joining us, I think we can go have a look at our first clip of the afternoon, which is, of course, one of the coolest pachyderms that is out there. And go.
Aww.
This is like proper family chaos. Look at those two little ones. There's another third one coming there to do some damage.
Oof.
It is, it's always funny with elephants because they don't really like drinking water that is not that clean or water that is not that fresh, especially in the summer where they might have a few more options. So you see that they're all in there where the water is clearly being pumped. They've all got their heads stuck in there, whereas, there is the pan, the natural pan to the left of all the elephants, but the water is a little bit muddy, perhaps lots of algae still there. So they're all like, no thanks, I'm not going to drink from that. Mm. Talk about a proper elephant jam.
Yeah. Have to fight for your spot at the waterhole.
You do. Lots of ellies around. And it is funny because, I mean, when it comes to, I think when you look at maybe lions, which are another big sociable creature, when they're feeding, particularly, then there is chaos and they all fight. And then, it's kind of like a free for all. I feel like elephants are the same with water. We don't really share it all that much. I've seen little ones put their trunks in their parents' trunk and try to get the water from them. Or, if there's a case, especially with the big bulls, if they're all drinking from where the water is coming up fresh or from when it's being pumped, and you can actually see them, which I assume is what's going on in there, they just push each other trunks away because they all want access to the fresh water. And they tend to monopolize on it, which is quite funny. It's like, no, this is my water and I'm not going to share it.
And they have no qualms about chasing babies away from the water's edge. If they've decided that this is their drinking spot, then everyone must move.
Exactly, yeah. You know, Ellies are big bullies, actually, when it comes to certain things. They're just not. They can be very nice towards one another, and the way that they look after the little ones, it's always endearing. But it can also be quite selfish,
Hmm.
especially when it comes to water, I find. But that was a very, I find, very smooth, very relaxed gathering of the water. It's generally, there's a lot of like commotion and elephants making a noise and pushing each other. So I would imagine the pump is working properly and there was enough for everyone.
You know what I had forgotten. I just went back into Kruger and then I spent a bit of time in the Sabi Sands, as Ali knows. And what I had not forgotten about, just not thought about in a while, is the walk that elephants do when they're on their way to water and they're thirsty. And I think there's going to be some big thunder around me in a moment. But when they're thirsty and they're excited, and they get this special head swing. It's the most excited you will ever see an elephant is on their way to quench their thirst. It's a water walk. It's just
It
magnificent
is,
to
it is.
watch.
And it's almost like a happy attitude, like try and stop me getting into that water. And then when they go in and splash and so on, I mean, here they couldn't, probably doesn't allow for as many of them. But if they were hot and maybe they would have started spraying the mud, it would have been kind of the same idea. But I think in this case, I'm surprised. This is actually one of the most decent, well-behaved interactions I've seen with elephants at a pumped water hole. They're generally not that happy.
Mm.
It's chaos.
There's obviously
I've got, yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say there's obviously plenty of water around at the moment.
We say this, but yet there's still more rain coming. Let me just get to two comments here. Stephen Clark Sr., you're saying good morning from the Great Northwest, Newport, Washington. God bless. It's almost like a poem, that one, isn't it? Great Northwest, Newport, Washington. It's got a nice ring to it. Mary Momo, you've got a question as well. You are wondering, can the elephants smell the water is fresh, or do they taste it and then communicate with the others to let them know? Jamie, I'm going to pass that one on to you.
I would go with smell. They've got an exceptional sense of smell. They can pick up when water there's underground water. I'm sure Ali and myself have repaired more than a handful of pipes that have been ripped open by elephants that have decided that that's the water that they want to drink. So I think that they can tell instantly whether or not it's water that they will actually want. So they'll communicate. I imagine they'll communicate that to each other, and of course they're also quite good at sort of stirring the water to get to the nice stuff. Push everything out of
Mm-hmm.
the way, as Ali said. If there isn't an option, then they'll scoop the stuff to the side and go for the fresh stuff.
Yeah, and it's funny because even, if they had the choice, like in this case, they obviously know that man-made structure is there. But if you go and look at elephants in the desert where there are pumped water holes and things like that. There might be a natural one with nice water, but the elephants will still go to where the pipe is, might be far away where, generally the solar pump is, and then rip up where the solar pump is because that water is fresher than the same fresh water that is being poured in the further down in the pen. It is very funny. And then I agree with you. I think they can smell it from don't know how far away, but from quite a distance, and they always know where it is. And again, like in certain areas, it's the mothers and the matriarchs and the older ones that pass down this knowledge generation to generation. So of course things will change and new ones will come up, or us humans we will build and destroy other ones, but they're pretty clever creatures. They figure it out very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jan, lovely to have you here. You're saying hello all. Thank you, Ali and Jamie. Well, hello, Jan. Lovely to have you here. Now, I think because we've spoken a lot about elephants, let's head on to our next clip, which is of a creature that is also very loud when it comes to water, perhaps one of the loudest ones. That is like a
One,
million of
two,
them over there.
6, 7, 8, 9. I count 9, I think. 1, 2, 3. Oh, now they're all in a ball. I can't see. 1, 2, 3,
I think you're right.
7, 8. 8. No, I
Oh,
think I
I
can't
counted
count.
them.
No, no, no. It is 9. It is 9. I think there's 5 in the front and 4 in the back.
You know. It is funny. I mean, they're very well. Today's, all the family outings and all the well-behaved creatures, because I gave them such a bad reputation introducing this clip of all the very noisy Egyptian geese, and then they're actually pretty okay, which I'm impressed. They are very noisy. I mean, and they pretty much, I would say, conquered all of the water holes and water sources around the area that I live in the Greater Kruger. I'm pretty sure around Johannesburg too, and like pretty much all of Southern Africa at this stage. They are just so successful and noisy, and they do have a lot of goslings at a time. Not all of them make it, of course, thankfully, because otherwise we'd be overrun by Egyptian geese. But this one seems to be doing quite
We
well
live in
because
a
they
world ruled
oh, you laugh,
by
but it's
Egyptian
I think
geese.
that's where we're headed. Egyptian geese are taking over. It's almost like they're going to school, isn't it? They're all walking in a line. They're all doing their thing. Maybe they're quiet because it's nighttime and they know they cannot be that noisy. It's amazing that you can actually hear the crickets and not only the Egyptian goose shouting.
Being shepherded. I could just hear the adults at the back shepherding the little ones in front of them.
I'm
Now I
very
can't. Now I
impressed
can just hear
with the
frogs.
elephants and the geese. They if this is your first time watching, please don't believe that this is the way that they behave. They are generally elephants and geese are very goodness. They are not this polite, and they tend to be a little bit spunkier than that. These guys are, I don't know if maybe the heat got to them, maybe they were very tired, but Jamie, back me up here. I'm not making this
No,
up, am
no.
I?
I'm 100% with you on that. And in fact, the last Egyptian goose sighting I had was with elephants, and the elephants
Oh
chased the
God.
geese, and the geese did not stop screeching about it. Even after the elephants had left, they were still making a fuss about it because they were so unimpressed. All the goslings scattered, the parents scattered, and then they all came back together again. But the parents were so offended that they squawked and squawked and squawked.
That sounds more like it. I don't know who they're fooling, but we will tell you guys the truth. Stick with us. We won't tell you lies
Yeah.
about the elephants and the Egyptian geese, which is very funny. Righty. It seems like one of my favorite Africam cams has produced the goods again. So let's head over and have a look at a different kind of family in the wild.
Oh,
You know, this old Donya camera
oh,
is great.
Ali.
I love it so much.
These are your cats.
Oh, how can you
For
not
those of
love
you that have,
lions?
yeah, for those of you that haven't met Ali before, she is a huge fan of lions. I mean, she loves all things. Oh, but lions are the best.
Look at that. Jamie, is that the thunder at your place that we're hearing?
It is. That is the thunder. In case anyone's wondering, that's the thunder in the background. We appear to be having quite a proper thunderstorm. Summer thunders.
So they're so active. It is quite cool just to see, and you see how many different ages of lions there are. So they're all part of the same pride, and they're all just generally the youngsters get bullied by the older ones. But look at their bellies, look at that belly. So they've been eating something. I mean, probably in the last couple of days or so. So it's part of the reason why maybe they've all come down for a drink, or they're relaxing. They've digested some. Otherwise, they wouldn't be this active, I don't think.
Mm-mm. Happy cats. Oh, this is sweet. These two young boys, they really are lovely. I'm very sorry if the thunder is deafening. I hope it's not too loud.
No, it actually plays really well with the clip. So it was nice because you I was actually imagining a nice like East African thunderstorm. So that sort of worked
Good on
out
that.
all the way. So and it's nice. It's nice
Very
to see them. I mean, I
atmospheric.
think those lions, yeah, as long as you're okay, then we're okay. Stephen Clark, you are wondering if we ever put troll cams on your animals so you can watch and see how they act and where they walk around and go. I'm not following what you mean by a troll cam, but there are no cameras that are put on the animals itself. So the only time, if that is the question and if I got it right, the only time that we'll put anything on an animal will be generally a tracking device, a collar in the case of lions, and that is for research purposes. So it's not for following them for filming or anything like it. It's just for the researchers to do their studies in terms of animal dispersal or where they're spending their time or where they're going and so on and so forth. So
I think,
not the cameras.
sorry, can I add something
Yeah,
there?
go. Maybe you got
Yeah.
it better than
Um,
me.
sorry, there's a bit of a delay, so I never know when I'm interrupting you. But that you'd have a terrible time getting ethical clearance to put a camera on an animal, a wild animal. But I know that they do put those cameras on domestic cats. And they use that in studies to try and estimate how much these cats actually kill and eat in terms of local wildlife. They did a study near Table Mountain Reserve, just with the pet cats on the fringes, just to estimate because people their cats bring back the odd mouse or the odd bird, and they say, well, my cat doesn't really kill that much, but they were able to calculate how many reptiles and birds are killed and consumed or killed and left without the owner ever actually knowing that's happened, because obviously domestic cats can be a threat through to wildlife if they're not controlled or if they're not kept inside or if you've got too many ferals. So I do know that they do that with those cameras, but you wouldn't put them on wildlife.
I never heard of it. Like, it's quite interesting that you mentioned that because I would imagine that the results of the study were more like, no, actually, domestic cats are not that great for the little things and they eat more than what we know. But it's always interesting.
Unfortunately,
But no,
it's not the cat's fault. Just to be clear, because I often get into trouble for saying this, not the cat's fault. It's people's fault. But it is a problem that we have in conservation.
yeah, but when it comes to bigger animals, no, it's generally just for research, just to know how we can better protect them or the spaces where they live in, but no cameras to see what they look. I don't know if it's ever been tried on a wild animal like the cats that you were thinking, but I would imagine a lot of people wouldn't be very happy about it. So I see we've got a couple of comments here, so let me just go through them because I would imagine some of them are about this subject. Zygote, you're saying it's wonderful to hear us enjoying it. I would imagine that's what you said. Sorry if I got that wrong. Glenda Newman Craft, you are wondering if the male subadults be moved so they do not attempt to mate with the female siblings. I feel like I've spoken a lot, Jamie, so I'm going to hand this over one to you.
Um, well, I mean, not in this particular instance, I wouldn't have thought. This isn't a fence, this is in Kenya, right? I mean,
No,
this is
this
an
is in
open.
Albania. Sorry, I should have given you some. It's in Albania, so it's free-ranging lions.
Yeah, okay. No, in that case, no, that's something that they will do naturally on their own. The dominant male of the area, or the dominant males, will once those young males start showing any hint of interest in the females, they will push them out. In closed systems, which we have a lot of in, I feel like I need to shout over the thunder. We have a lot of those in
No, we
South
can hear you
Africa with
fine.
fenced reserves. Thank you. Fenced reserves, then there is a greater degree of management that's required, and yes, potentially moving young males to stop them from mating with their sisters or with their mothers. I mean, lions don't know that inbreeding isn't something they should do; they just go with instinct. So, yes, then you would have it, but in this case, no. That the natural dispersal mechanisms to make sure to keep those genetics fresh will come into play.
And it will happen. I mean, I have seen lions, young male lions, not move out from the place that they were born, and then they mate with their mothers, with their sisters, and so on. So as long as you don't have too many inbred lion generations, then the population is still fine. When you start having a couple too many, then you start seeing lions looking a bit funny.
I think it's six. I think it's six generations or something like that.
Mhm.
That so there's a little bit of leeway.
Yeah, so it's not that tragic as we want. It's not if it happened once. It's incestuous for
Yeah.
sure, but not for the lion world. Anyway, Mindy Tilapo, you're saying hi, Jamie. How are your studies going?
Oh, thank you. Hello. My studies are temporarily on hold, not because I'm not studying, but because it's actually holidays. So we have a long summer holiday. I've just finished third year. I'm now officially half of it, which is insane, actually, to think it's gone quickly. But I'm loving it. I'm really, really happy, and I've got another 3 years to go. I start soon, next month or so.
Oh, okay. Well, going back to school, Jamie. Oh, well, at least you're enjoying the holidays and spending time with us, which is always nice. Alrighty, talking listen to me, about holidays. Let's go and have a look at a family of baboons that always seem to be on holiday. Oh, that was a fail. A baboon.
It was beautiful though. I enjoyed it.
Don't know what happened there. My brain is clearly not working too well in English just yet. I need a couple more days.
Oh, oh. Sorry, I got distracted. The baboon just
That,
picked up the baby and then just let go. Just dropped it.
oh my goodness. Baboons are just, at least they are the ones that are being a little bit more truthful to who they really are and how they really act. They are a bit quiet for my liking, but this is more like it. At least they're not pretending like the elephants and the geese. I don't even know where to look.
No,
There's so much happening.
I know. Oh, an impala.
Random as usual.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's an optimistic little young one on the left-hand side. So if you can see now, there's a female with a very bright red bum to try and explain it. Now she's sat down, so she is in heat. So that is generally it doesn't look like that year round, but it's just to attract some of the males to mate with her. And it's funny because a lot of the times you'll see the younger males also very interested, going up and down and sniffing her out. But they're a tad too young to try and do anything. But you can definitely check the little ones are like, oh, what's happening? Maybe they're coming of age and starting to get interested in other things than just playing around.
There was definitely interest there from that one young one.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But the big gentleman at the back is not going to let anything happen under his watch.
No, I wouldn't mess with him at all. I think it's also nice that they're so active because it's been very hot the last couple of days up here. So when the weather cools down a little bit and we have a nice overcast day, like Jamie is having today in Joburg, it's so nice, and all of the animals are like, "Yay, playtime! We can move. We don't want to die in the heat anymore." So that always works out well.
Have you seen the video of the baboon jumping into the swimming pool?
Oh, there are a couple,
And
yes, going around on social media. Crazy how they just go into the pool and enjoy life. They are clever. I just didn't know they were that clever.
I know, dive bombing in because they obviously know that crocodiles are not a problem. It's amazing.
They're very clever things. So I know we are running a bit out of time. So I'm just gonna do these comments before we head on to our next clip. Stephen Clark, you're saying thank you for the information. You were just curious about the cameras on the animals. You guys are awesome. Well, thank you very much for saying that. We appreciate it. Jive Bunny, you say you love the teeny tiny Naledi Ellies. There's a cute Africam clip of little one trying to reach shame. I'm sure it's got to grow a little bit, and I feel sorry for the ones that actually don't get there. And you're also saying good afternoon from the UK. Mary Momo, you're saying that you saw that baboon yesterday and thought it looked like the youngster was put in timeout. I wouldn't be surprised. It does happen. They can reprimand each other, and there's a lot of shouting and screaming and biting and aggression, so they're not afraid to put each other in their place. Baboons are not shy of shouting and, you know, using physical force to get their point across.
Disciplining. They discipline.
Thank you. I couldn't think of the human word for it. All right, just before we run out of time, let's go to our very last clip for the afternoon, which is probably about another family that is going to be very well behaved. So let's go and have a look at the little piglets at Old Donya. Ah, look at those cute bums.
Oh.
That's a lot of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them maybe, plus the 2 adults.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Okay, I'll give it to them. They're normally quite quiet when they go into the water. They're not lying to us too much. It seems like maybe they
No.
belong to, judging by the sizes of the little ones, there are some that are smaller, some that are older. So I would imagine it's 2 different females that are the mothers of all these youngsters here. And they do tend to associate, like, the mom with the youngsters or other females in larger groups. Oh, hello, giraffe. That was unexpected. Photo bombing. That's a nice line. That's a very long line of warthogs. I must say, when they're just born, they are adorable. They're so cute and tiny.
They really are. They must be among one of the cutest of all of the baby animals, and there's some serious competition for that.
Yeah, they're so ugly. They're cute. Let's give them that. But I used to work in a wildlife rehab center, and of course, every now and again, a little orphaned warthog would come around. They were not fun to keep. They're not used to Jamie, as long as you're fine. Because as long as if they're left by themselves, they hate it because they're always with the mother or the other piglets. So they just go into full on separation
Oh,
anxiety nightmare. They squeal. It's not fun.
that actually sounds
So you've got
exhausting.
it is because then you don't sleep because they get hungry because they've got to eat many times in a day because they really, and if the weather drops they've got to eat so many times. It's funny because we think of pigs as being fat animals because of course we think of bacon, but actually truth
Mm.
is when they're little there's very little fat and they've got to eat a lot to make
Yeah,
sure they don't die of pneumonia or hypothermia or whatever horrible
and they
cold
do.
death they
I
might.
mean, a day like today with a tiny newborn piglet, they really are at risk. They've got very little body fat at all.
Shame, but we love them. But
We do.
I think, however, that we are going to let you sign off, Jamie. Make sure that you get a few more blankets for the weather because we've run out of time. But it was wonderful seeing you again, spending some time with everyone, and then just having time with very nice, well-behaved families. But remember, they don't always act this way.
Oh, Ellie, it's
See
so
you all
nice to
next
see
time.
you.
Bye.